Georgia reported over 1,000 new confirmed cases of COVID-19 on Friday, the same day Governor Brian Kemp lifted the shelter-in-place order for most of the state's 10.6 million residents.
The Georgia Department of Public Health reported a total of 27,023 confirmed cases of COVID-19 in the state on Friday, compared with about 26,000 the day before, the Atlanta Journal-Constitution reported.
Health officials also reported that there were 33 new deaths on Thursday, bringing the state's total death toll to 1,140.
The White House Coronavirus Task Force has advised states to begin reopening after 14 days of declining positive cases and declining rates of people reporting COVID-19 symptoms.
But Kemp has forged ahead with reopening Georgia and encouraged business to resume operations despite the rising number of cases, drawing bipartisan criticism from fellow elected officials.
The state's shelter-in-place order expired for most residents on Friday, though Kemp extended Georgia's public health state of emergency and is requiring elderly people and medically fragile people to shelter in place through June 12.
He allowed a slew of business establishments, including hair and nail salons, bowling alleys, gyms, and massage therapy centers, to reopen with minimum basic operations on April 24, followed by restaurants and movie theaters this past Monday. But he has encouraged residents to still stay at home if possible.
Kemp said the businesses must take safety measures including screening workers for fever and respiratory illness, enhancing workplace sanitation, wearing masks and gloves if appropriate, separating workspaces by 6 feet, teleworking if possible and implementing staggered shifts. But
given the sheer number of businesses under the order, it's unclear how the state plans to enforce those guidelines across the board, especially in places like hair and nail salons that necessarily involve people touching and being within 6 feet of one another.
The governor and his top public health officials have also encouraged residents to wear masks in stores or other places where they'll be close to others.
Kemp argued in a Thursday interview with the Journal-Constitution that loosening restrictions for much of the state's population made sense because almost half of the coronavirus deaths in the state had been linked to nursing homes and other long-term care facilities.
But public health experts, other Georgia elected officials, and even President Donald Trump have said that Georgia may be moving too fast to reopen and could even risk spreading the virus further and undoing the progress the previous restrictions achieved.
The outbreak of the virus in Georgia has also disproportionately affected the state's black residents. A study from the Centers for Disease Control and Prevention published on Wednesday found that 83% of COVID-19 patients hospitalized in Georgia in March were black, despite making up only 32% of the state's population. Reopening the state and relaxing social distancing measures now is irresponsible and could even be deadly, Atlanta Mayor Keisha Lance Bottoms wrote in a Thursday op-ed article in The Atlantic criticizing Kemp's decision. Our hospitals may not be stretched to capacity, but that does not mean we should work to fill the vacant beds. I strongly believe that our health care system is not overwhelmed because we have been socially distancing. And while President Donald Trump has encouraged states to return to business as usual as soon as possible, even he criticized Georgia's rapid reopening and distanced himself from Kemp. He tweeted on April 24 that he or Vice President Mike Pence never gave Governor Brian Kemp an okay on those few businesses outside of the guidelines. Fake news. Trump added, spas, beauty salons, tattoo parlors, and barber shops should take a little slower path, but I told the governor to do what is right for the great people of Georgia and USA. Senator Lindsey Graham, a staunch ally of Trump who represents neighboring South Carolina, also tweeted on April 21 that he worried that our friends and neighbors in Georgia are going too fast too soon.